Alright, everybody. This is the grow tower I've been telling you about. Garden Tower Project 2. Garden Tower Project 2 or Garden Tower 2 Project, whatever you want to call it. And today, I got the instructions and we're going to fight the rain and put the wheels on the thing. So, let's see what we can get done. Now, I got, it says check all your parts. I got 3 of these casters, which I guess I got to get the scissors again over here. And we'll get the metal pieces. Now, it took me forever to get the casters and all the little bolts and nuts and stuff taken out of the bag because they had it really nice and snug, taped in there good. So, look at these. These are heavy duty. They say these are double locking. And I guess, oh wow, okay. Those are nifty. These are heavy duty, great big, good size casters. And there's 3 of them, so let's get all 3 of them out so they're ready to be put together. I should have grabbed a stool to sit on because the ground is wet. Alrighty. And I'm not afraid of dirt, but I really don't want to have a wet butt, so. Alright. So here's this. And here's all the nuts and bolts. And it tells you you're supposed to have 8 small washers in here. In this handy dandy little Ziploc. 8 small washers, 3 large washers, 3 small nuts, 3 large nuts, 1 long bolt, 1 short bolt, 1 structure steel support stays, and 1 wing nut. And the steel support is in this thing here. So we got to put it together. Alright. It requires a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 of an inch standard socket driver. Well, here's my socket driver. I got the 1/2 inch on there, and I got my girly toolbox with all the rest of them in there. So, and I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take this bucket quick and dump the water out of it. I use it for a stool, so I don't have to squat and break my neck. Alright, so, alright, let's see here. We're gonna use the short bolt, so let's go ahead and look at here. We got a short bolt, 2 washers and a wing nut. Here's the wing nut. And I think we need small washers. Hang on, let's double check here. 3 big washers are going to be for the casters, I think. So we're going to get 2 small washers, I'm assuming. Attach the black steel stays together using the end of the single open hand tighten. Alright, so over here, you probably can't see my face, but you can see everything else. And here is the big metal steel stay gizmo. There they're talking about. So, here we go. We're going to line up all three of these. They got a big hole, a square, funny looking hole, and a little hole. And they're all three the same. So I'm going to line up all three of these little holes like it shows. And we got to put, let's see here. I'm going to put a washer at the top of the nut. And then we're going to put, or the bolt, excuse me. And we're going to flip it over and put another washer and hand tighten, it says. So we're going to hand tighten the butterfly nut. We'll hold this like that and tighten this up. Now I don't have the strongest of muscles, but there you go. You can see that. Nice and stuck together. Oh, that's the wrong part. I put it in the wrong hole. And I'm trying to teach you how to do it. I'm going to teach you wrong. Sorry about that. Got to put it in the center. Oh, that's what it says right there at the end. So I did it right. Now I'm going to double check it here. This is the first time I've ever had to assemble anything fancy like this, so just hang in there with me while I get it all nice and even and lined up. I want it to all be together and lined up evenly. You probably can't see that. There you go. So now they're all lined up. And you're supposed to, first of all, we got that part done. Let's go ahead and be smart enough to flip this gizmo over. So here's where the worm tea and everything comes out. But we're going to look at this part and we're going to line them up here. It's real nice because it swivels. Alright, so then we stretch it out. Line it up here. There we go. Sits in there nice. There's actually these little grooves, if you can see here. There's a little groove, so it sits right in there. And I tucked the wing nut underneath, so it's nice and flush. And the next part says, fit the stay onto the channel feet. Yep, got that. Okay. With a center hole in for each foot. Got it. Okay. Place a small washer over the long bolt. Insert the bolt through the stay and into the feet. Alright, when we get into the feet, then if required, tap or pull the stay to align in the center holes with the holes in each feet. Insert small washer onto each bolt in the top of the feet. Next, thread the nut finger tight only. Alrighty. So, now we gotta take these bolts and put the little ones on there. So, let's get these 3 bolts out. And I'm digging them out of the bag like this because everything's wet and I just don't want to have to fight with it. It's easier for me to just fool with it this way. So I need a washer on the top of the bolt and a nut on the bottom of the bolt. I do believe that's what it said. Small washer, insert the bolt in the feet, required center holes with each foot. Okay, small washer. Okay. There's 3. And here's 3 small washers. Gotta get them out of there. Alright, 3 and 3. Now all that's left is the big washers and the big bolt nuts that go on the casters. So, here we go. We're gonna put a washer on each one of these bolts. We're gonna stick them in these holes. Okay. Hang on, let's see here. Okay. Let's look here. Oh, because it says to do it the other way. See, so I did it wrong to begin with. Alright. Because then here, you put the feet out here. So, the one with the little holes has to go here and then have 2 holes. So 2 holes go on the outside of the foot and 1 hole on the inside. So we do have to take it apart. Because, like I said, I thought it was wrong. But we're going to do it the smart way though, so we don't lose any of the pieces. And I'm going to put the second washer and the nut on. So there's 2 washers and a nut on each one of these bolts ahead of time. That ensures that I don't lose the pieces. And they're ready to just assemble as soon as we fix the mistake that we did. Like I said, this is a first time for me, so make sure you're watching all the way through so you don't screw up like I do. Everybody makes mistakes and learns from their mistakes. So, here we go. And this might be a little bit boring for you, and I'm sorry about all the background noise. We do live in a trailer park, and it is a Saturday, so it can get quite noisy and loud here. And like I said, this is the only time I have to get this done before our next rain comes through. Predicted rain for the next, I don't know, week. It's gonna be warm, but we're gonna get a lot of rain, which kind of really sucks. Alright, so we line up all of these, and now we have 1 hole in the center here, and we have 2 holes here, because the bolts that I was just trying to put on have to go in the center of these feet. I hope you can see all of that. So we're gonna straighten it back out, grab my wrench to hold it, like so. Put the washer, and put this on, line it up here even, like so. I can hold it on my lap long enough. Alrighty. And you see I'm just holding that bolt, so. Make sure it's all straight, lined up, perfect. And just tighten it with the top of my hand. As you can see, this bolt, there's not really much to grip to. So, alright. Let's try this again. Now we flip it over. Cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. Spin this way. Ta-da. Alright. Now, here's the big bolts. And we have to stick this down in the hole, and then I'm going to have to use fingers to, yeah, tighten it with this. So, now that we got that side done, we're gonna stick the nut in there. I'm gonna try to, probably have to sit this on its side maybe. That would probably be an intelligent move. Let's try that. Sit this a little bit on its side here to where I can reach it. And then stick the bolt or the washer on top of the bolt. Stick the nut on there. This to straighten it. Okay, now. You gotta be smarter than the gizmo you're working with. Alright. That should be good, I think. That works. Now we're gonna do the other two. So we'll just go ahead and toggle it one foot at a time. Up and over so that we can get the other ones in. I'm hoping that you guys can actually see this. So, taking off the nut and the washer, leaving one washer on the bolt. Gonna find the hole, stick it on in there, get the washer started, or the nut started, and we're just gonna twirly, 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 twirly. Till I feel resistance. There we go. I'll do that one more time to this last foot. Alright. And repeating the same thing that we just did 2 other times. We're just gonna take the nut and the washer off right here. Here's the bolt with the washer. Stick it in the hole. Put the washer on. Put the nut on. Oh, come on, weasel butt. Get on in there. Okay. Got it started, and then we're just gonna screw it. Finger tight. There we go. Alright, now the next part says, okay, that's that part. Alright, each require a 1/2 inch socket. Yab, yab, yab. We got that part. Okay. Hold the large washer. Okay. Against the lower side of the stay. Okay, nuts required. An extension can be used as a hand tool to quickly snug the nuts to the bolts. That's what we were doing. Okay, number 8. Hold the large washer against the lower side of the stay. That's this part. And install the caster from above. Hand tighten nut over the washer. Okay. So here's where it gets fun. Now we're going to take this and put the washer on the bottom. put the caster through like so. Make sure that that's right. Yeah, it looks right. And then it says, while holding the wing nut, oh, that's too far. Go to this one. Now we screw on the nut. Now, gravity is not going to be on our side, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. There we go. Alright. So there's one on. Now we got to do that to the other two. Alrighty. And of course we got mud all over because it's muddy down here. And I've been playing in the yard with the dogs. While we were putting some straw down in the yard because of all the rain. So hopefully you can see this, and it just says finger tight, so just screwing it on here. There we go. There's two down and one to go. So here we go. Now we'll spin this little guy around again. There we go. Or you should be able to see that. And then put this and this. And then we hand tight the bolt. And voila. Alright. Now let's see what it says from there. Okay. Hold the large washer. Got that. While holding the wing nut by hand and with pliers, tighten short center bolt as tight as possible. Alright, so we're going to tighten the center bolt. So let's go ahead and flip it upside down again. And crook this sideways. And hold this part somehow with my hands and just tighten it. I think I got it pretty tight though. Alright, that's tight. Okay. Return the base upside right. Tighten 1/2 nuts until tension is felt on the driver. Do not over tighten. Okay. So now we're just going to flip it upside right. Okay. There we go. Now it's a little higher, holy moly. And this is, oh, it is the right size. These feel pretty tight though, so I think let's go ahead and, okay, and then once we get all of the top wheels, it says tighten the bolts in the legs down here, which we just applied. And yeah, I got them tight. And before Ben goes to work, I'll have him come out and double check that it's tight, but everything feels pretty tight. And the last part to do is to tighten the nuts that are the wheels. And for that, we get the girly toolbox out here. And 3/4, which I might not have that tool out here. Nope, I only have up to 1/2 inch. So I will have to go get a 3/4. But it's just telling me to do the same thing to the nuts in the legs here as I do to these nuts, and just make sure they're fully tightened. So I will have to go out and get a tool for that in the back room. Like I said, I'll have Ben help me because he's got a lot more strength than I do. And that is the assembly of the fancy caster wheels, so that it now will roll and do its thing. So I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments. And thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can get the updates of the upcoming videos. Until then, ciao now.